Okay, hello. Welcome to the off-grid dev stream. My name's Rich Metzen. I'm one of the devs in a small indie team called s01ep12. Let's turn off this starting soon text quick. And we make a hacking game called Off-Grid. What's the point of this dev stream? Well, Off-Grid is a very moddable hacking game. Essentially, anyone with a copy of Off-Grid can download through Steam Tools a set of Unity tools that we have that we've built that you can essentially create your own hackable objects, hackable devices, write your own missions and stories, make your own hacking tools. Without further ado, I think I'll just switch over to showing you some of it. So let's just switch over here. By the way, do let me know if the volume levels of either the music or game sound or anything else could do with improving. Got a little flutter from the green screen there. It's annoying me. Oh well. So yeah. Essentially, let's get straight into what have we got here. Here's Off-Grid. This is the first access build which our Kickstarter backers have access to. Basically, we've got a small contingent of folks who are in testing dev builds and testing the modding tools out. We will be opening this up to a wider audience at some point in the near future. So if you're interested, then make sure to join our Discord. You can find it on the website. That's www.offgridthegame.com. And I think there's like a tab up at the top that links to the Discord. So yeah, this is Off-Grid. It's work in progress. Obviously, we are very much in a pre-release state. Let me just tab out and turn the music down so things don't clash too much. There we go. So yeah, just jump straight into this, and I'll take you through a bit of what Off-Grid's about. And then I'll start to talk about what modders can expect from the Steam Workshop integration of it, what kind of things you'll be able to mod, and I will take you through a particular element of modding. If you are interested in kind of seeing that from the start, then we've got a whole series of these streams on our YouTube channel in a list called Off-Grid Modding. So you can go to that and watch some of the first ones to get an idea of the tools from the ground up. Today, I think I'm probably going to be talking about spawning an AI NPC agent and some of the modability of the AI. We use an AI model called GoApp, which is goal-oriented action planning. And essentially that is it's a very modular sort of AI. You have a pool of actions that the AI has available, and the AI makes a decision based on the friction within each of those actions to reach a goal. And we've got a fairly data-driven version of that, where essentially modders are able to write their own goals and actions. I do sometimes have a crash on this when launching first time, so we might launch it a second time. Yeah, so that's the idea behind what I'll be going over in terms of the modding tools. free to ping in the chat in any of the channels. I'm keeping an eye on all of them really. Yeah, if you're in Twitch, Periscope, YouTube, Mixer, Facebook Gaming, or Steam Broadcast, you can ping questions in the chat on any of those, and I should see them. Let's just throw some music back on for a moment. In the meantime, there is an error with off-grid. If that oh no, it looks alright. Display, yeah, play. So yeah, if you haven't heard of Off-Grid before, it's a stealth hacking game where data is your most powerful weapon. So it's a stealth game essentially where you collect hacking tools for your AR glasses so that you can visualize data and networks instead of collecting weaponry of a more conventional sense. And that gives you kind of lots of interesting options really. Essentially, by hoovering up all the data on your adversaries, you can then use that to try and kind of craft intelligence or intel on them and manipulate their behavior by affecting the environment or using their own data against them. I'll show you a little bit of how that works with a couple of little run-throughs. Here we go. It's some weird thing where it always seems to struggle on the first load at the minute. Right, so let's tab out again briefly and turn the background music off. So you play kind of a technophobe dad in Off-Grid who's got no idea about tech, about hacking, about all the kind of pervasive are we back? Hopefully we are. It looks like Steam Broadcast just isn't having it. Well, rubbish. Oh, haha, and we are on. Okay, sorry to all the people on broadcast who were watching. We're on. Doesn't look like it's working all that smoothly though. We back yet, Mighty Cowboy? Also, Mighty Cowboy, if you can hear me, could you check on the Steam Store page for the Steam Broadcast and see whether that is working okay or whether it's got massive lag. Looks like it's having problems to me. Which is annoying. Try it again. Well, welcome back. Let's see if anyone's up for having a quick look on Steam and seeing whether the broadcast is working over there. I'm not certain it is, to be honest. This is so annoying. Okay, that looks pretty smooth now. Yes. Right. Well, I think what we're going to do is to make a little bit of a fresh start on things. Welcome to the off-grid dev stream. Yeah, we've done a little bit of troubleshooting. We are now functioning on all channels properly. Steam broadcast, which is obviously a fairly important one from the perspective of that's where people can wishlist the game. I think the sound is all working. Yeah, we're all good. Right. So, what I'm here to talk about is a game that I've been making called Off-Grid. I'm part of a small indie team. I'm just going to show you a little bit of it to recap. Apologies to anyone who's been watching since the beginning. I won't go through it in quite the same detail. Feel free to ask me some questions about it in the chat as we go as well. Mighty Cowboy, that means you too. What is Off-Grid? Well, it's this stealth hacking game. Essentially, data is your most powerful weapon, which means that you are going to be hacking people instead of hacking them down. You're going to be collecting data on them and trying to manipulate their behavior and stuff along those lines. So let's just switch over here. I'll show you something different so that the folks who have been watching along since the get-go don't get bored. Instead of walking down this way and going through the beginning of the level, we're going to cheat. We're going to walk through this wall to the left. As you may know, lots of cheats are to the left of games because you're expected to walk right. Most people walk right. This is our little test area. This has a couple of different things, but I can show you some of the hackable devices in Off-Grid with it. So over here we have a couple of different things. I'm going to start by, I want to hack that laptop. A couple of things that are a bit close together there. Oop. I'm going to SSH into that. Here we go, and we're going to cheat. We're going to give ourselves access. We're going to get on all the networks. We're going to give ourselves the Ghost app and the multi-tool app, and that's going to give us everything we need. So we now have Ghost app. It doesn't actually make you look invisible, but we are now invisible to the AI. In Off-Grid, you basically hack different smart devices, and nearly everything is internet connected. So we've got this smart fridge here. Go into here, we'll update the firmware. Firmware update failed. And it's causing that to spark a little. We will go into the Cola machine and see what's on there that's of interest. Oh, I should make sure that I get all the chat windows up properly as well. Just a second. So, right. So we've got sales data. That's not really useful to us. We've got power, social media integration, test vending mechanism, and the force of the vending mechanism. So we can make that fire out Coke cans, bounce all around. Oh, they're not. Physics on those isn't working properly. There's something to fix. It's interesting. What else? Is this... That elevator isn't set up. So yeah, in off-grid you can write all those hackable devices yourself. You can write these conversations, these kind of crypt chat conversations to push a story along, meet different characters along the way, put yourself in the game, put your friends in the game, put famous hackers in the game. We'll just skip through that. There's a file system that you're able to review things through. So up in here we can go through files. There's the manual for how to use your iOS, black iOS penetration testing toolset. Yeah. And basically the name of the game is collect as much data as possible. So we'll put our data utility on. We'll set it to delete data as we go. And we're just going to basically try and hack the planet. We should have this door access now. So we're just going to cheat by turning the ghost app on. Oh, what? I swear I... Oh, okay. Maybe I put them the wrong way around. I'm going to... So, see... That should get me through here. Yeah. So in off-grid, the name of the game is basically harvest as much data as you possibly can in data view here. So we're gonna just remember this guard can't see us because we've cheated. Although I think you can hear us, so that always confuses them. Yeah, we've got some stuff in here, like we should now be able to hack into this copy machine. Oh, here we go. Right. Sorry, I'd managed to miss a couple of the questions in the chat there. Let me just have a quick look. So we've got just a quick reminder, tomorrow's school, not a vacation. Yeah, that's fine. I recognise that back alley there. Hi, unknown user. Who are you? And congrats on the magazine. So the questions are, so hang on, genuine question, do you have a limit on the cans in there? On the amount of cans that the vending machine will spit out? It depends on how the particles are set up. At the minute, that's just spewing unlimited cans. But yeah, you can set a limit in the hackable devices. It's down to how we set up the particle effect, basically. So you'll see in a moment on this one, actually, we'll hit a mock on, and it just spits out a few coffee cups and a bit of steam. Yeah, that's the short answer. So the thing that we're going to do here is should have, maybe I don't have a coffee ad. Not going to be able to do it then. Basically, I need to fix that vending machine so it's got a coffee ad on it, and then what we'd be able to do is send it to this guard and get him a bit hyped up, and then go over and hack the radio, which is over here, and change the radio station. Path, you're asking questions that I know that you're trying to get some cheeky intel on. I actually don't know how many bytes each particle game object takes up. You probably could do some kind of if you did it the right way, you probably could do some kind of buffer overflow or memory corruption, but this is all garbage cleaned, you know, because it's an index item somewhere. So because it's an index item somewhere, that surely must have decorative metadata for position relative to other items, movement, speed. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a game object, so it has a transform on it. It has well, no, because they get deleted. So unknown user has said, I can spawn cans forever and eat your RAM. No, they have a lifespan, so I give them a certain lifespan. You know, if you wanted to make a mod to eat RAM, you could set up a particle effect that doesn't ever have the particles it produces expire. But yeah, I haven't done that in this instance. So yeah, good questions, all relevant, and we probably get to talking about a little bit of that as I do some AI stuff, because I know you're particularly interested in the AI and the modability of the AI. Yeah, let's do that. Let's jump out of this and into this level kit project. Be right back. Sending gameplay as Megacan 3000, no expiry. Yeah. So I mean, I can show you a bit of that. I was going to do some stuff on spawning AI, but we can get around to that afterwards. What's the easiest way of doing that? Well, actually, I kind of need to put a vending machine into this level for the AI anyway. So yeah, we can get around to that definitely. Yeah. Okay. So this is a level that I'm working on currently. It's obviously a bit boxy and grey. It's not in its kind of fully lit look, but that's kind of a bit more what it'll look like when it's had its light maps baked. Still needs lighting properly. We've got this level up here that I'm going to throw a guard in, right? So essentially, you're making a mod. You want to throw in some enemies. So you ask, how do I go about that? Well, the simple answer is you start by having to define them in the mission script. So if we were, just make sure that everything fits into the screen properly. Actually, should make it a bit more visible. Yes. So we go to build here. We're going to open the mission script for it. And that should launch Atom, all being well. Yep. So, I need some names. We're gonna create a character. We're essentially making another one of these guards. So yeah, control root there, right? So I mean, the table name can just be guard 2 for now. Oh, come on. But we need to do some more interesting stuff. So display name. Anyone in the chat fancy naming naming the guard? Diane Fadbot. We're going Brexit theme, British politics edition. All right, yep, Diane Fadbot. The sad thing is, although we've made some new NPC models today, we still only have one female character model that we can put in. So it's going to look the same as the secretary, unfortunately, but that's okay. Oh, we can't even use the secretary because she doesn't have a taser and we're making a guard. Diane Fadbot is going to look a little manly for now, but I promise in a week or two we'll swap her out. Okay, so we're going to use this prefab. We need internal name yet. Internal name. That's just a reference. Prefab. We're going to use this one above, which is M large long jacket, just because it's easy. Don't miss a comma there. We'll alarm spawn guard. We're just going to have a regular guard. So you've then got this agent file. The agents are defined up here. We've got alarm spawn guard, an office worker, we probably want to really make a new guard. We're just gonna call that guard. Make sure Mrs. Fabbot isn't in the release candidate, or maybe in even any edition. Yeah, I have got a plan to go through and make sure all of the characters are renamed appropriately if it doesn't fit anything. You can give me a name that might fit the release candidate though, if you like. So basically, this is the definition of the AI agent. It has a world state that it needs to check. And it has a set of goals to do with having a prisoner, investigating, is there an intruder visible, do they need a toilet, yeah. And then it has a set of interest points that it can use for, or that it has to use in order to up its motivation again, get its energy, empty its bladder. And there are different items that can be fixed by different AI agents as well. They have other actions that aren't necessarily defined out right here, but that's the basic setup there for an AI. We're going to, now that we've got that written up, we're going to give it that agent type. Just spawned, no, just guard. It was guard lure, yeah. Yeah, it was. Character type, enemy. And we'll create a spawn point for them. Spawn point equals guard to spawn. Right, we have to create a profile for each of the characters that are in the AI. So if you backed at a certain level on the Kickstarter, essentially you backed to be able to write a character profile, name a character and write a character profile for them, either as yourself or as someone else. We need to do Diane Fabbot here. Lure, and those profiles go in the characters file here. We'll have a quick look at Henrietta Lecoq. Let's see what. Yeah, this is a good one to dupe. Yeah. Okay. So essentially, you can define a character profile with kind of anything you want. We're going to just duplicate this one and call it Diane Fabbot. And essentially, what that references is this script to try and decide a bunch of stuff about the character. Motivation, sociability, gluttony. Some of these things can be changed on the fly. Some of them are fixed. Gluttony actually sets the weight of the character. Mood, tiredness, in need of toilet. You know, like you can set a bunch of these things up here. These are the stats that are then affected and referenced around here as well by different interest points. You know, so we can set how full their bladder is to start with, for instance, as well. So yeah, we can set their favourite colour, and then the interesting stuff. Miss Diane is her first name tag, and these are all key value pairs, so you can define them in any way you want, basically. Oh, right, yeah. Middle name. So yeah, you know, nickname, derogatory name, husband, wife, pet name, usernames, screen names. So, you know, like, there's a bunch of values here that essentially could be useful in some way, shape, or form, and they will be generated by the AI when they're using stuff. So you could drop then to JSON quite easily. I mean, yeah, actually this stuff, when we first prototyped, was written up in JSON, and we switched over to doing it in Lua because it made more sense for because of the fact that all of the other logic was going to be written with Lua and Lua functions. We figured people are going to be getting used to Lua. No need to have them learning two different language paradigms, and you might as well do these key value pairs in Lua, essentially. So yeah, I mean, if you wanted to write it all out in JSON and then pass it into Lua, that would be fine. Like, the game won't read it in JSON anymore. But yes, that is where we started, actually. So you've got the accounts that they're using: Coolmail, GMC.net. Their favourite website is Food for You or Owned Game Servers. Their relationship status, parent names. You know, essentially this is a docs in Lua, you know, in key value pair style. Hi Ricardo, thanks for joining the chat. We're just talking about modding AI, and right now we are looking through the character profile stuff. So essentially, yeah, you start to build up all kinds of stuff that you could then, if you discover that data, you might be able to use against a specific device. So a specific device might require the AI to have a certain type of data before reacting in a certain way to their interaction with it. So if you were consuming Lua profiles there and they could be dropped to JSON, they could go straight into elk. Elk, you might have to explain. Googling elk isn't going to help me either, is it? Yeah, elk stack, Elasticsearch. Cabana. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Logstash Cabana. Ricardo says he's waiting to buy the game. Cool. Well, I'm glad you're excited. Hopefully you've wishlisted it. Please do. So, unknown user, you're saying you could use these Lua profiles, drop to JSON, go straight into elk. What would you do with them there? What does an elk stack output? What is the elk stack? 3 open source projects: Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Cabana. Elasticsearch is a search and analytics engine. Logstash is a server-side data processing pipeline that ingests data from multiple sources simultaneously, transforms it, and then sends it to a stash like Elasticsearch. Cabana lets users visualize data with charts and graphs in Elasticsearch. Okay. We'll put a pin in elk and come back to another time. Yep, that sounds good. See if the AI follows humans over time. Okay. Well, for the moment, all these docs that we have here are obviously fictional as well. Yeah. Anyway, we also have, mood tags that we can set, exclamations that characters use, prefixes, hashtags, and all these things go into the generated language stuff that then is sort of put everywhere by the guards as these text messages. Like, I mean, there's going to be a lot in here now because we've been sat with the game running for a while. Woohoo! Sorry, he did a nice move there, trying to reach around. So, Ricardo, you said hi and that you're excited for the game. I always love to hear where people heard about Off-Grid. If you can drop in the chat what brought you to Off-Grid, I'd love to hear that. So yeah, all this data, God, I'm feeling down. I think it's time for an iron brew. If I'm not back in 10 minutes, I've drowned in it. So that's a generated text message, and it uses that data profile, essentially, that we just looked at. By the way, I'm cheating so that these guys can't see me. Usually he would tase you for standing around like that. So we've got this profile basically for Diane Fabbot. We're just going to save it. What else is needed to do? Patrol route. Right. So we'll be cheeky and just copy that. And essentially, that's our character definition. This little block of code is all you really need to do to make an AI character. The basics of an AI character in Off-Grid. It's going to look for this prefab that's been defined here. So that's the character model, which is already set up. Steam. Cool. So basically, Ricardo, you saw it. It was recommended to you by another game you were perusing, another kind of hacker genre game. We seem to get quite a lot of referrals that way, which is nice. Shows that the Steam algorithm is working. So we're gonna have to Yes, HackMud, nice. I was playing HackMud the other day. HackMud is good stuff. So we're going to put a few patrol points in. We're just going to call those guard 2 P1. Right, so we need to make a spawn point and patrol points. So let's start off here. Just check that everything is on screen properly. Yeah, we're doing okay. This is going to be a little bit laggy. It never likes me trying to broadcast and run Unity and run the game all at once. But bear with me. So, right, that's the architecture folder. We're going to jump into mission objects, floor 2, and we'll create a new game object, create an empty game object there, and we're just going to call this, oh no, that's not what we're going to call it. We're going to name that after our spawn point, guard 2 spawn. Ricardo says, yes, very good, but I think this will be better. Oh, I'd love it if we were anywhere near as good as HackMud. Let's hope we can live up to that expectation. Is it only me on dev? No, the dev team is 3 of us doing the core development. That's me, Pontus Schonberg, and Steve Allen, and we kind of wear many hats between us, and then we've got Soph, who's part-time doing art with us. So yeah, the core team is sort of 3 or 4. We have Sarah part-time doing biz dev and stuff with us as well, community management and lots of marketing activity. So yeah. Right, so I've created this guard 2 spawn. I'm going to add a component called a mission object, and we want to make that into a spawn. Turn off generic. Where did that go? Oh, it's completely in the wrong place. Move this back inside the building here. You're saying good that it's not only me and Dev. Yeah, it's a bit of a complex game to only have one person on. Don't worry, we've got a few of us on the case. So I'm just going to move this spawn point to somewhere where I want this guard NPC to turn up. Plonk it in here. You obviously need it to be somewhere that's on the nav mesh. This is the blue stuff is the nav mesh that the guard has the ability to walk around. Just pop that there. That's where our guard is going to turn up. And then the next thing to do is build up those patrol points that we put in here. So again, we're gonna. That's interesting. I seem to have left that without a name. Was it guard 2 spawn? So yeah, we'll create another empty game object. I think V is to snap to vertex. Is that right? working? V? V. Yeah, there we go. There we go, that's in the room. In this instance, we don't want our guard to go very far. We'll probably just give him a cyclical patrol route. So we'll pop one there. You have to name these exactly as they're named in the mission script, otherwise it won't find them. And we need a bunch of them. Let's make 4 so that we make him kind of walk around in a bit of a circle. Oh no, let's do 3 and then we'll make it non-cyclic. So we'll change that to false. Yeah, we can then just add a component for a mission object there again. I think patrol points can just stay as generic. I can't remember, to be honest. Actual interaction trigger. Gonna have to check on a different level. To spawn. When are you going to make the game available on Steam? We're slated for a 2019 release. It's going to be the latter part of 2019. Obviously, we've still got a lot to make, but we haven't got a specific date that we're putting down yet. Sorry to be so open-ended about it. With indie dev, you kind of have to keep it open sometimes. Do we need testers? Yeah, actually we do. We have a set of folks who backed us on our Kickstarter that get first access builds, and we're going to start opening up some of that stuff to people who are interested in testing, and especially people who are interested in modding as well. So all of this tool set that I'm taking you through for dev here is actually available for you as a player. As soon as you have a copy of the game, you can use this entire tool set that I'm talking you through and make your own levels and write your own AI, and or use our off-the-shelf AI. You can kind of make cool stuff. So yes, we do. I'm going to be opening up some testing phases in the Discord coming soon. So I would say your best bet is to, well, definitely jump on the mailing list, because then you'll definitely get it to your inbox. You won't miss anything. So the mailing list, I think you can go to the website www.offgridthegame.com, and there's a tab for signing up to the newsletter. That will have news come to you about when we'll be opening up testing phases. And joining Discord is another good idea, because I probably will end up running the testing phases through Discord, so that I have kind of quick and easy access to you folks who are testing and checking things out and giving us feedback. So yeah, do 1 or 2 of those 2 things. If you can do both, then perfect. Right, so we've got patrol points we're making. Yes, they don't need a mission object, they need a patrol point script. So we're going to remove that component, we're going to add patrol component. Yes, and on this we can set how long the agent is going to wait at that spot. It can be randomized or it can be a certain amount. Cool. Good. You will. Good. You will do. That's good to hear. I will look forward to seeing you in the Discord and on the mailing list. Right. So maybe want him waiting around sort of between 5 and 8 seconds. So minimum and maximum there. And we will then just be lazy and duplicate this one. Control D. Yeah, let's make this kind of relatively straightforward to get around. We'll make him. Yeah, let's make him walk in a circle, because otherwise it's going to be too hard, isn't it? True. Duplicate that patrol point as well, and you know I can make these gizmos bigger so that they're easier for folks to see. Right, and you might have noticed, or you might not, that these all need renaming, because unless they have the correct names for the patrol points that are in the script, they're not going to get recognized. Where do I live? I live in the UK. The dev team is pretty much all UK based. Are there any exceptions to that? We're spread out around the UK. Pontus and I are near London. Steve is in Manchester. Sofa's in London. I feel like we had some people working with us from somewhere else. Oh well, Jonas, our sound designer, has just moved from London to Sweden. You're from Portugal. Nice. I was actually at Game Dev Camp Lisbon speaking about modding off-grid, which is a pretty cool small developer conference run by a friend of mine, Diogo Vasconcelos. Yeah, if you're anywhere near Lisbon, or even if you aren't, and you're into games, it's worth keeping an eye out for that conference. It's really good fun. Good place to meet cool developers and hear about their process. So yeah, right. So we've got our patrol points in. We've got our spawn point in. Oh, do we have our spawn point? I might have deleted the spawn point. No, guard to spawn. Mission object. It's just not showing up. There we go. Okay. You're near. When is it? It's Game Dev Camp is usually around about September, October time. So you've got a little while yet. It's in about 6 months' time usually. It's towards the end of the year each year. Let me. Let me just search for it and I'll send you a link. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, you should follow Diogo. Oh, my typing is so bad at this time of night. Yeah, basically, that's Diogo who runs the festival. So if you have a gander at his Twitter around about kind of August time, I would have thought they'll be selling the tickets. So yeah, it's good. It's definitely worth going. Liquid Legs has said multiplayer in a game like this could be interesting, but that's a dang load of work. Yep. No, we won't be doing Liquid Legs. We won't be doing multiplayer. We actually thought about this. Very early on, we looked at multiplayer, but that's it's just such a big feature, and we decided that making the game moddable and having kind of an extendable, kind of community-driven set of stories would be more interesting within this game. Ricardo says, oh no. Unknown users, typing doesn't start properly until 1 a.m. Yeah, I know. I see you sending messages like fucking 3 a.m. regularly and wonder how the heck you get to your job and survive it. Right. So, back to writing your AI. We've got now our character definition. We have got our character profile, although we haven't adjusted it very much. But, you know, it's got stuff that it's going to generate messages from. And we've got the agent definition here, which we're not going to fiddle around with too much in this instance, but this is where the really interesting stuff starts to happen, because you can start to set goals that require certain actions or states. For instance, like you can set actions like toilet. The required state needs toilet to be true. You can start to work out how this might be interesting. For instance, we've got like a too hot value, so you might need to use the sink to cool down, and that requires a state too hot to be true. And you can make a guard too hot by hacking the coffee machine and making it spit coffee everywhere instead of serve a nice cup. So yeah. Pardon me. Right, so that should be the basics, if I remember rightly. Let's give it a spin. So we'll just quickly save that scene. Mighty Cowboy says, congrats for the magazine. What magazine? Did I miss something? Were we in a magazine? We were in a magazine like last year. We were in Games Master magazine. Sadly, it's closed down now. We were on I'll tell you what we were on recently was Linux Gamer has a YouTube channel called Linux Gamers, and they put up their top 10 games coming in 2019, and Off-Grid was on it. That was pretty cool. Yeah, Unknown User Games Master has closed down. I think the end of last year. I think we were in one of the last what do you call it, editions. Yeah, some good writers there as well. That it's sad that they're all freelancers nowadays anyway, but you know, still. Right, so we've got our patrol points, we've got our spawn point, we've got our guard's character profile. We're going to hit build level here, and that's going to build it. Yeah, I know. I mean, it is crazy. Unknown User has said crazy to Games Master shutting down. I mean, that magazine has been going since the late 80s. And, you know, it made it through all of the kind of digital print wars and survived it. It's really sad news. Right, so we've got the asset bundles being built here. That should give us updated asset bundles that we can then push from the editor over to our copy of the game as soon as it's done. Might eat a bit of my cupcake while we wait for that to be done. Lovely. Cinnamony, that one. Cinnamon buttercream topping. It is good to have someone who likes baking as a de-stressing pastime living in your house. So, just going to take a moment to finish compiling here, but that is now those asset bundles built. And so, you know, we launched this copy of the game from Steam earlier. Well, we hit search for game, and the editor is going to look to hook into a copy of the game. We hit start. And then it should, yeah, search for our mod. Oh, we're in the wrong area to check out what that guard is doing. Well, sure. How's that gonna work? Come on, load. Okay, might have been running this for a little too long. Oh, no, it's working. Yep. So, yeah, a bit of lag because it just doesn't like running all these instances. I suppose that actually if we close the game down and start it again, seeing it's been running for a while, it will probably be much better. Let's see, can I? No, I can't test the AI from this side. That is interesting. We might have to make a fly mode for the modding tool side, because basically when I'm working in two editors, I can usually then pop back into one of them and see the guard walking around, but we can't do that in this instance. What we're going to do instead, we'll create a spawn point up here for the player character. Not in the architecture folder. Mission objects. We'll call this, what was it? Second floor spawn. Should have looked as to where that was going, really. I'm tempted to kill the game quickly, just to give us a bit more leeway on the old RAM. And a video in the background. Right, there we go. So that's our spawn point. Where's it gone? Second floor spawn. Here. We need to add a mission object. That mission object is a spawn. Rotate it a bit so we're spawning in the right place, facing the right direction. And we'll go and change the workplace mission script to tell the player to spawn up there instead. So instead of player spawn, we're going to spawn the player up on second floor spawn. Right. Sadly, we're going to have to build the level again, build those changes. That'll take a moment. In a level of this size, it will anyway. Pardon me. Yep, whilst we wait, unknown user is asking, or suggesting. There we go. Well, you didn't write your question quick enough. GPUs and some PSUs about the place, ping if needed. I was actually going to talk to you about that mining rig stuff, because I might have some spare capacity on a renewable energy front. That setting up some kind of mining rig might be interesting. With headphones on, I can hear your fans, and it reminds me. Yeah, the old lappy does breathe quite heavy when I'm streaming like this. Right. So let's give this a shoot again. What we're gonna do is we're gonna launch the game again. I'll put it in windowed mode this time. That's odd. Wait for it to load the game up to the main menu. So we should be able to search for the game, hit start on networking, and it'll push our level to here. And all being well, we should spawn upstairs. Not responding. Oh no, it took a moment before, didn't it? Yep, here we go. We're in the correct place. So, has it spawned a guard? Can't see anyone. I don't think it has. I think we've got some errors to check. Yeah. Well, I was sort of leaving it open to have an error, but I wasn't expecting this error. I hadn't set up an interest point for the AI to go and use when they run out of motivation. What usually happens is they do a patrol route until they run out of motivation, and then they have no way of upping their motivation again because they can't go and sit down anywhere, or they can't go and get a can of Coke, or they can't go to the toilet. But that's not what's happened here. So it's getting control one's position a group with only one controls when doing repaint. No, that's not anything to do with the AI. Right, oh, network connection. Yeah, so the error we've got is connect to network failed. Connect to guard 1 not found. That's interesting. Oh, I might have found one of the errors that I have from elsewhere. That's where the unknown user says that's where it's coming from. That's where the GPUs and PSUs are. Interesting. I'll have to pick your brain as to why they had to get dismantled. Whether it's just an upgrade, or yeah. Well, we can chat about that. That'd be interesting. Right. So, the thing that I haven't done here, I'm going to have to change some stuff because, well, I know why guard 1 is complaining, so let's fix that first. So I'm not adding this guard at the minute because, oh yeah, there you go. There's all the stuff that I've missed out on. I've got a guard that I was hoping to spawn basically when an alarm is set off, but there's some stuff going on that means I can't do that correctly at the minute. So guard 1 needs adding to the mission in setup mission. So does guard 2, the new guard that we've put in. Then you've got these 2 connect to network setups for basically connecting your character to the 4G and the Wi-Fi, so that they can, use them to generate their text messages and their GPS pings and all the stuff that you use against them eventually. So we need a version of that for guard 2 as well. assign key to character yet, giving them some kind of security key so that they can get through certain doors. And that is it. That's all of them. So that's all just Lua script changes, so we shouldn't need to rebuild asset bundles. We can just go here, hit stop, then hit start again, and it'll switch back over here. Right, like I said, it's going to be a bit laggy because of this being using the dev tools and streaming at the same time. And there we have a guard who's not moving. Wonder whether that's a motivation thing. See whether they move when they see me. Don't think so. Oh, yep. Okay. So that guard is able to navigate. Why are they not using their patrol routes? Overlooking Unity, so hit clear and start the errors again. Just like the real Diane, tasered. Did Diane have to get tasered? Oh, that's funny. There's something wrong with navigation, definitely. He just ran through that wall. Well, I don't think I'm going to be digging into any pathfinding stuff. Lol, pathfinding stuff on the AI tonight. Getting controls for each position, group names, group controls. She tasers others mentally in a sort of what you just said, stop me from being able to think or respond. Yep. That's probably quite a powerful characteristic for a politician to have. Not getting sufficient errors on what has gone on here. Well, it's quite hard to tell. Well, I think we might have to leave it here for this stream anyway, because time is marching on, and we will just basically continue on with this AI NPC theme on the next one. I think I'll get to the bottom of the navigation issue that's happened there, and then after that, we should go down and see what the other AIs are doing. whether they're managing to patrol around. Might be that I haven't got occlusion culling or something baked properly in the level. Apologies for how laggy this is. It's struggling to run Unity at the same time as saying I'm not there. Oh.
Private property, mate.
Yeah, so he's working. Yeah, something minor then. They're using pretty much the same agent definition. Does it know where to look for the agent definition? Agents guard.lua with a capital G, G-U-A-R-D, and it's spelled correctly. Character type enemy. Whoa, what could that be then? Oh, that could be it. Cool. Oh no, it's the table that I'm looking for. There's one less reference. Guard 2 spawn. He's found me. That's a table, so that's correct. That's a table. That's a table. So how come there's 9 instances? Oh, I know what it is. That's something that we need to create an error for, I think. So that we've got 4 patrol points and we'd only listed 3 of them. So let's try this again. Well, we may have crashed it. Might have to start again. Pardon me. Okay, you're gonna have to launch Steam again and launch the game again, yes. Play there. Oh yeah, we don't need to be messing around with that stuff. Search for game, start game. Come on. Here we go. Hopefully. Oh, hang on, didn't the last guy was walking around correctly as well? Maybe he's just waiting for a while. He wouldn't have caught us if I think it might be something to do with the fact that there's no interest point up here that you can use. No, there you go. Just taking his time. Definitely a problem with navigation for some reason though. Cool. So that's how you set up an NPC in off-grid basically. Where is he? I think he's got no motivation. He's decided to go off and find a Coke machine or a coffee. I'm going to be demonstrating cyclical paths, Mr. AI. Anyway. Yeah, that's how you set up your NPC. I think that is probably a good success to end on a high note on. And what we'll probably do is come back, like I said, in 2 weeks. The next dev stream, bi-weekly dev stream, by the way, every 2 weeks at 9:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, or London time zone. We will be doing the same thing, and I will make the next one about putting in custom actions and goals for AI so it does interesting things. I think he's going to tell us. There we go. Yeah. So where is it? Right. I was just going to jump on OBS and I was going to switch over. Basically, feel free to jump in the Discord and ask any questions. Jump on Steam's discussion forums and ask questions there. I'll do my best to get back to you all as quickly as possible, and as reasonable a time as possible. If you can wishlist off grid, that one, wishlist off grid, that would be much appreciated, and you can like and subscribe to us on any of the channels to my right. Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, Google Plus symbol will have to take off because that's obviously been shuttered. Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, you name it, we've probably got a presence on it in some way, shape or form. So please do follow us on those. Have I got anything else final to say? Just that, yeah, you can jump on the Discord at any time and say hello. I will pop the Discord link in here. We're out and about in the Discord pretty regularly, so just drop us a question in there if you've got one. Wishlist the game on Steam and sign up to our newsletter. That's offgridthegame.com/newsletter, or head to www.offgridthegame.com and you can check out the link to the newsletter there too. Right, I'm going to sign out. Thanks very much for listening, for chatting along with me, for having a good time looking at the game, and I will look forward to speaking to you all next fortnight's time, so in 2 weeks' time. Great. Thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you all soon.